This year marks the 450th anniversary from the time the first enslaved African was brought in chains to the U.S. If after all this time, your best assessments are that our plight is connected to a Bible that was brutally beaten into the minds of our ancestors, and that we're being controlled by a silly slave syndrome myth, which present what would be the least effective method used for controlling generations of people. If those are your assessments, you should be a damn ashamed of yourself for being so damn ignorant. It's time to know the truth of our plight and condition. Therefore, those who know must teach African proverb. Millions of Africans throughout the diaspora are familiar with the declaration that we must emancipate our minds from white mental slavery. It's originally a quote from a speech made by the Honorable Marcus Garvey. It became popular when Bob Marley added it to his lyrics of a song entitled Redemption Song. While millions of Africans knows that quote, most, however, do not practice it. Most treats the quote as just a cool sounding catchphrase. This is because we've been conditioned to think in ways that prevents us from seeking the emancipation of our minds. Regardless of how intelligent people are, if it's possible to control the information that people receive, it's entirely possible to control what they'll believe. Those who controls the information controls the minds of the recipients of the information. The white society has always exploited its monopoly over information that black people receive to control what black people believe. More specifically, to embed false beliefs into the collective minds of black people that makes us think and behave in ways that serve the system of white supremacy. It's truly mental slavery. The emancipation of our mind from white mental slavery begins with first accepting the fact that all information that we receive from the white society are lies designed to give themselves greater power and control over us. The white society has deployed many tactics to maintain its dominance over the black population. Education is actually indoctrination. The history we've been taught has been whitewashed to falsely exalt Caucasians and to falsely marginalize us. White social scientists determined a long time ago that doing so instills a value system into the collective subconscious minds of black people that makes us more compliant with white dominance over our lives. The daily media contents that we receive from white sources are being used to perpetually manipulate us to think and behave in ways that serves and protects the system of white supremacy. The white-controlled entertainment industry is being used to distract us from seeing the covert war that's being waged against us, and it's also being used to negatively steer our culture. And the Bible is a tool, a work of fiction that's used to control us. The early white Christians' conversion of Africans into their religion had absolutely nothing to do whatsoever with saving the souls of Africans, so that Africans may join them in heaven during their afterlife. This is an irrefutable fact because the early white Christians literally believed that Africans had no souls and that heaven was for whites only. In fact, the early white Christians believed that the thought of an African entering the kingdom of heaven was as ridiculous as a dog doing so. This is an absolute fact. When we logically look at facts as they truly were, we can say with 100% certainty that the white enslavers and colonizers' conversion of Africans into their religion had nothing to do with saving our souls. There was another self-serving reason why they put their time and energy into teaching Christianity to a people they otherwise treated so brutally. The self-serving reason was to indoctrinate the belief of a white God into their subconscious minds. When the Africans were taught to believe that the Almighty God is white, this produced a profound adoration towards whiteness within their minds. This profound adoration towards whiteness is then transferred and transposed upon the white race. This made the Africans more subservient towards their white colonizers and the white enslavers. And this subconsciously happened with most not even realizing it. This made the colonization of Africans in Africa much easier. And it made the Africans in America into more loyal slaves. First, they fooled us with the Bible. Now we fool ourselves with it. The white society also keeps millions of black people mentally enslaved through its black on black crime propaganda campaigns. The reason why the issue of black on black crime is so amplified within the white media is not because the white society is so concerned with the issue of blacks killing blacks. That has never been a concern of the white society. Never. The true self-serving reason why they put their time and energy into spreading those news reports about black killing blacks is to make us fearful of each other. Fear is one of the most powerful human emotion, and it can be used as a tool to manipulate others. No passion so effectively robs the minds of all of its power of acting and rationality and reasoning as fear does. Those in positions of power, past and present, have often used fear to control targeted populations. Ruling classes for thousands of years have understood the power of intentionally invoking fear in their subjects as a means of social control. Through their black on black propaganda campaigns, the white propagandists have manipulated many black people to believe that it is we who are now our own worst enemies, and that we therefore need whites to protect us from our own people. When people are gripped by fear of a threat, real or imagined, the rational and higher cognitive capacities shuts down, making them easily manipulable by anyone that promises safety from the threat. Oppressive governments often maintain their grip upon a targeted population by continually invoking fear and then proceeding to claim that only they, the ruling power, have the means and ability to protect the population from the threat. The minds of large targeted populations are easily manipulated when people don't know what's being done to them. This is our hidden reality. This propaganda campaign that is designed to make us fear each other is not only being deployed through those fraudulent news reports, it's also being done through those TV shows, those TV crime reenactment shows. Look at the facts. African American makes up less than 13.5% of the U.S. total population. FBI data confirms that most violent crimes, including homicides, are committed annually by Caucasians. However, those TV crime shows showcases black on black crimes at a 67% rate. This disproportion is by deliberate design. Black people are intentionally being inundated with an exaggerated, disproportionate amount of black on black crime that are designed to subliminally embed the message into our subconscious mind that is ourself that are now our own worst enemies. Moreover, that we therefore need white people to govern over our lives. It's how the white society now keeps us divided, demoralized, and keeps our collective aggression shifted away from the white society and redirected towards ourselves. It's also how they keep us fearful of each other. It's how they maintain their dominance over us. Fear within a targeted population are often consequence of narratives created by those in positions of power, individuals looking to take advantage of and manipulate others have long realized the power of fear. We are at a point now, many times we'll be walking at night and we hear steps behind us. And we think as a black person, we're more afraid. As a white person, we're less afraid. How did this happen given our brutal history? Our minds are not functioning based on facts. Our minds have been distorted to think in ways that serve the white society. It's time to wake up to our damn reality. The time believing in dumb shit is over. One love and peace.